girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Females made you just to trick me, trick me, trick me, trick me. 'Cause baby girl, you are so easily pretty. The only reason that I can do tonight is 'cause I know you were invited. The only reason that the stresses can die is 'cause I thought that you would like it. I'm only gone for the secret outside, because I want you to like that. The only reason I can do tonight is because I really like you, and I can no longer hide it. Want to remember your mind, the laces that goes over your digest. Why just tell me that you feel like I do?
Hi, this is Jessica Javens Talk, and this is a podcast channel that we help you to transform your life inside out into a life you truly love. Welcome to season 1, and today I have a very amazing woman coming to the show, a close friend of mine, one of the most beautiful and strongest souls that I know. So I'd like to welcome here to our podcast, Rita Dahma. Welcome, Rita. Thank you so much for joining us today. I can't wait to the audience to hear everything that you have to share, which is so rich and enlightening. So please tell us a little bit about you.
Well, thanks for having me. Well, I have developed this passion for health. And because of that, I started enjoying pretty much research, anything that has to do with cutting edge things, that have happened in the past. I would say in the past 10 years, a lot has happened. So me, in regards to me, so I'm very fascinated by nutrition. Okay. I think is the basis of health. I think, no, it is, it's a fact. And so I have a nutrition course, and also something that helps tremendously. It's that if the person, it's a synergy thing. If the person knows about the physiology of the body, okay, how the body works, that is so important. And what I did, I had, I took a medical coding course, which gave me amazing insight into the physiology of the body, how the body works, the anatomy of the body, all those things. And it helps you greatly when you put those things together, nutrition and knowing how the body works. Of course, you have to put those two together. And that's my background. But most of all, I'm always researching, always.
Thank you so much. And I know how much research you do, because we had some wonderful conversations, and I personally know people that had actually transformed their life with Rita's knowledge and help. So I'm fascinated about it too. So I would like to start our conversation, go in depth a little bit. If a person is actually not happy about their health right now, if they have to choose where to start, should they start with a exercise program or with a nutrition program? Which one is more important? Which one should they start first?
Well, they should start with the nutrition program, because here's the thing: you can move the car, you can keep moving the car, but if you don't put the right fuel, eventually the car will stop. Okay. So it's the same thing with the body. I mean, you can exercise as much as you want, but if you're not putting the right nutrition into your body, eventually you are not going to have the energy to exercise. That's the truth of the matter. So I would definitely start with nutrition.
Thank you so much. That's key. So let's go down nutrition now. How or where should they start with their healthier lifestyle and their journey to improve their life with nutrition? Where can they start?
Yeah, well, first, I just want to have a disclaimer here that I'm not a doctor, of course, and people should consult their doctor first. But the first thing that I would really start with, okay, is something that is very hard for us today. we're surrounded by processed food. We're surrounded by junk food. Okay. So I would start first by eating things the way nature made it. Okay.
Makes
In
sense.
other words, whole foods in their natural way. Now, is it easy? No, it's not. It's not an easy thing to do. And that's when it comes that you have also to do your little research. What is best for you? Okay? One thing that I have realized is that if you start, that is one little thing that is hard for people to do, but it's it's an amazing thing if you can do that. If you start by diminishing the amount of carbs that you consume, you'll be amazed at the results you have in just 2 weeks. In just 2 weeks. I would start that way. Eating whole foods, eating things the way nature made them, high quality, organic, and I would cut my carbs gradually and see how much energy, that will give me, and that will give me the incentive to just keep going, you know.
Okay, well, thank you for that tip. And now, let me ask you something about this carb thing, because there's sometimes people saying it's different for men and women. There's a difference between processed carbs and whole carbs or whole grains. What is your take about that?
Yeah, when I say whole foods, there are some foods that, well, when we talk about grains, in a way they are processed. Okay. And personally, through my research, through my own experience and my experience with people that I help, grains are very inflammatory. Very inflammatory. So even if you eat them, like things like quinoa is not a grain, it's a seed. But I'm talking about wheat and some other grains that people use that, people say, oh, it's whole grains. Well, even though they're whole grains, they are very inflammatory to the body. Okay. So I would start by eating non-starchy vegetables, it's so much of a variety of it, and high quality protein, and good fats. So that's where the person has to do a little work.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are the options for high quality fats? What are the options for high quality protein? What are the non-starch vegetables? What are some other options that I have that I can substitute the things that I really love?
Mm.
So that's what the little research comes. And, if they can do it, a little coaching wouldn't hurt.
Absolutely. Yes. Because it does take time. So when you do speak to somebody who did all that homework, that definitely helps. So thank you. Now, when we talked, Rita, a couple of days ago, you told me something that I never thought about much because I never had to maybe deal with it, which is something about our blood sugar. So I know some people that have to check on that regularly. So I get that, but I never had any issues with that. So I was completely oblivious to how does that play a part in us having a healthy lifestyle and improving our nutrition and our health. Can you tell me and tell our listeners, why is blood sugar important to follow, to understand for everybody?
Yeah. I'm going to make a statement that I stand behind it like 100% because it's a fact. Today, most of the health problems that people have, it stems from metabolic disease, which is uncontrolled blood sugars. And the problem with blood sugars is that it takes decades for you to see the bad results of high blood sugars.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. So you might start being a diabetic 30 years before you really became a diabetic. That process might have started 30 years before. It's crazy, you know? So no wonder now it's becoming very popular, things like CGM, you know?
What is CGM,
What do
Rita?
you call? Yeah, it's a controlled glucose monitor. Okay,
Oh,
so yeah. Instead of pricking your finger every day, you have that either in your arm or any other part of the body that is appropriate. That you have the app on your phone, and you will see, like, it, as you eat whatever food, you see the results of that in regards to your blood sugar in your body right there. Did you have a glucose spike? It's going to be there, and it's going to let you know. So you're going to be able to control the things that are good for you and the things that are making you sick. And like I said, that's a long process. I personally, I know my blood sugar every morning. Okay, and I did use the CGM for a while, and then I did see the things that hurt my blood sugar. And you don't have to use it all the time and forever, but as long as you have the discipline that as you had the CGM, you like, okay, I can't have this. Okay, I shouldn't have this, or I shouldn't have that. I shouldn't have this together. I shouldn't have this protein with this carb together. It gives me a blood sugar spike. You got to know your body, and that is a very great instrument for you, because most of the diseases that we see today in the modern world, they start with high blood sugars.
whoa.
Isn't that amazing?
Most
That's
diseases?
crazy.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
Yeah. We're talking about, not because, diabetes is a given. Everybody knows that high blood sugar is
Yes.
diabetes.
Yes.
But let me tell you this, Alzheimer's and dementia today are called diabetes 3.
What?
Okay? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So heart disease, cancer, it all starts with high blood sugars. Of course, there are other, ingredients to that,
Mm-hmm.
evil soup,
Factors. Yeah.
but yeah, but most
So,
likely, if you have your blood sugars controlled, you're gonna be okay.
okay, so it's pretty clear I need to get this device, right? So is it easy? Can I just get it anywhere?
Yeah, there are at least 2 brands that have them over the counter. And
Okay.
in other words, you go to the internet, just, because I don't want to make any
No,
advertisement for
no, no. I
nobody,
just want to know if
but
it's
just
something
go
easy
and
for them.
search,
Yeah.
over the counter. It
Perfect.
is just so, just go and Google over the counter. Yeah.
Okay, so
Continuous glucose monitor. That's all. That's all you have to.
awesome.
And you're going to see.
I'm looking forward to getting one because I have no idea. So how do I keep my blood sugar steady? How do I keep my blood sugar steady? What do I have to do? Like after I monitor myself and I see that I have some spikes, so forth. So what would you say that I should look for in more specifically to keep it steady so I can, keep my body healthy?
Yeah. You definitely have to lower your carb consumption. Definitely. That is non-negotiable. Okay. Also, you need not to eat so often. That's very important. People were told, oh, you must eat every 3 hours so that, so that your metabolism doesn't slow down. As far as I'm concerned, that's the greatest crime committed against humanity. Okay? Because if you eat that often, you're going to have a glucose spike all day long. And you're going to have your pancreas working so hard to produce all that insulin to get rid of all that glucose in your bloodstream. And eventually you're going to develop something called insulin resistance.
Oh,
which is going to make it very hard for you to control your blood sugars. And I can even talk a little bit about that because that's a problem that develops before you get to develop diabetes. And I was reading this study that like a big chunk of the population these days is insulin resistant.
really?
So,
Wow. So
yeah.
you're talking about intermittent fasting? Is that what you're saying that would be? And tell me what that looks like. And I heard there should be a difference between men and women, but I'm not sure. You're the one who did the study and so forth. So tell me about that.
Well, fasting, it's a great will. It's a great will of healing the body. Okay, and yeah, you have intermittent fasting, which is not a very difficult thing after you develop the habit of not eating so many carbs. Because when you eat a lot of carbs, you're always hungry, so it's going to be hard for you to fast.
Ah, I see. So it builds up your cravings and it doesn't nourish your body or make you feel satisfied.
Exactly.
Mm,
So intermittent fasting, you give your body time to process that glucose, okay? And you give time for your cells to absorb that glucose so that for your next meal, things are going to work harmoniously again. So, because I spoke about insulin resistance, what is that? Is that if you eat constantly, your pancreas, it's working like overtime to produce insulin. And the job of insulin is to get that glucose and take into your cells. But if your cells are already, full of glucose, there are receptors there that when the insulin goes and knock at the door for those receptors to open the door, the cell is going to say, don't open the door. We can't anymore. Too much.
wow.
And so that's when you have high blood sugars because now the cells do not accept that glucose and all that glucose goes right back into your bloodstream.
Wow.
Okay. And then also insulin, when your insulin it's a beautiful hormone and we need that. Okay. But when the pancreas starts producing too much, then insulin might become poisonous and might know it will. It will cause inflammation in your joints. It will cause so many problems. It will destroy your arteries. That's why it's incredible that if people would just know the physiology of the body, how the body works, it would make it so much easier because then they would be like, yeah, I'm not doing this. I'm hurting myself. I'm not going to do that. Yeah, it looks good, but nah, not doing this. I don't want to be bad. I don't want to be having joint pain. I don't want my arteries to be stiff. I want to have energy. So knowledge is power,
I was just going to say that. Absolutely.
but only if you apply the knowledge.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. You have to use it. So tell me a nutritional myth that has recently been probably debunked, something that people should know and that is not good for them, that they maybe thought it was good for them.
Well, actually, what I just mentioned is the very first one that you must eat every 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That is such a myth and is so dangerous, super dangerous. I got to tell you that. Okay. Because that is exactly what I said before. That's what is going to keep your blood sugars always high in your bloodstream and it's going to hurt you so badly. Okay. So that's one myth. And it makes you hungry. It makes you hungry.
Yeah.
You hungry all the time. See the people that are hungry all the time? You ask them and they will tell you they are always eating.
Wow.
And it's a vicious circle. The more you eat, the hungrier you are. The more you eat, you're never satisfied.
Yeah.
The second myth is low fat.
Mm.
Because of the low fat generation we had, we we created a lot of obesity. Why? Because when they took the fat out of the food, they had to put sugar. Okay? And fat, it gives you satiety.
Mm-hmm.
You eat fat and you satiate it. You take the fat away, you're never going to feel satiated.
I understand.
So, of course, it has to be everything has to be balanced, you know. So, but doing low fat, it can hurt you a lot. It can hurt you very much. So I would say these are the two myths.
That's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, the every 3 hour meal so that your metabolism doesn't slow down. Guess what? It's going to slow down big time.
Wow.
and the low fat. Those two.
I've just got a message. I think it was this morning of a group message that is built by a nurse, and she explains and shares how important it is to eat every 3 hours. And it's amazing how much that is still being practiced and emphasized and taught. So it's very important that people get the right knowledge and do the research. So thank you so much for actually motivating, encouraging people to do their own research. Now, if we have to leave this today, like all of our listeners, they're going to leave the podcast, they're going to finish listening to this. What is the one thing you would like to leave them with? A last tip, a last thing that you want them to be encouraged to do so they can start shifting their life into a healthier life?
Well, I followed this amazing doctor that actually he gave me the inspiration, for this turning point in my life, where I really adopted a healthy lifestyle. And he says he says something that it's amazing, that I believed exactly the opposite. And when I started doing what he says, that's when things started falling into place. Most of people, they think that they have to lose weight to get healthy.
Uh-huh.
Guess what? You have to get healthy first to lose weight. Once you get healthy, that weight is going to melt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's the right way of doing it, right? I've done diets that I wanted to lose weight. Guess what? I did not get healthier, and then I gained my weight back. So it's redundant. Makes sense.
And the second thing, so that people don't get sad, thinking that, oh my God, I'm going to have to give up all the foods that I love.
Okay.
Guess what? Every food that you love, that is a low carb version for that, where you can have your cake and eat it too.
I love that. Actually, Rita and I had a meal, and she proved that to me. She actually cooks some of those dishes, and she helps people learn how to create meals and be creative in a healthy lifestyle. So revamping the whole thing, which I truly appreciate. It was so inspiring. So thank you for that. I love that. I can about the cake that you just said. I love it. And yes, the cake was delicious. Thank you. So, Rita,
when I coach people,
yes, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, when I coach people, that's the first thing I do, because I know that is very disheartening when you think, I got to give up everything that I love. It's disheartening, you know, and that makes it not sustainable. So the first thing that I do when I coach people, I ask them, tell me the things that you like the most. And then we have a session where I make all those dishes and all those desserts low carb. And it's incredible, the glow that I see in them once they like, oh, this is so delicious. I didn't even know that I could make this low carb. And it changes the whole, the whole point of view that they have in regards to food. And that's important, because we got to eat to live.
Yes, absolutely. Wow, that's
so
awesome.
Yeah. You learn to do all the stuff that you love low carb.
Very good. So Rita is here today, and she has a lot coming up this year with all of the services that she has of coaching and more. But if you would like to reach out to her, she's offering to contact her directly by email. So her email is rdahma@gmail.com. It's RDAHMA, and it's on the comments. So Rita, thank you so much for coming to the show today. And if you are watching here with us, I would like to ask you to click the like button, to subscribe to the channel, and to follow me. And this show is brought by Forever Living, which is the best aloe vera juice in the world that helped transform my life into a healthier lifestyle. And this show is also produced by the I Am Beast Network. I am Jessica Javens, and this is Jessica Javens Talk.
Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Females made you just to trick me, trick me, trick me, trick me. 'Cause baby girl, you are so easy, baby. The only reason that I can do tonight is 'cause I know you were invited. The only reason that this dress is skin tight is 'cause I thought that you would like it. I'm only gone for the secret outside. Because I want you to like that. The only reason I can do tonight is because I